My dear child, before you wipe another tear from your face tonight, before you reach for another tissue, before you turn your head deeper into that pillow so no one will hear the sound of you breaking, please stop for one moment. Please listen to me. Please, just stop. Set down whatever you are holding. Put aside whatever was about to pull your attention away in the next few seconds. Close the door if you need to. Sit in the corner of the room where you usually go when you cannot hold it together anymore. Yes, that corner. The one no one knows about. The one I have been sitting in with you for longer than you realize. I am there with you right now. And I have come close. Closer than your own breath. Closer than the warmth of your own skin. Because there is something I have to say to you tonight that I cannot let one more hour pass without saying. Something I have been trying to whisper into your spirit for weeks, maybe months, maybe years. But the noise around you has been so loud and the weight on your chest has been so heavy that my voice has felt very far away. Tonight I am pulling you out of all that noise. Tonight I am bringing you into a quiet place where only my voice exists and only your heart exists. And the rest of the world has to wait outside the door until I am finished speaking to you. So lean in, my child, lean in close, because the words I am about to give you are not random, they are not generic, they did not appear in front of your eyes by chance. I sent them to you. I directed them to you. I have been arranging the moments of your day for hours so that you would land here, in this quiet pocket of time, with your eyes on these words, and your heart finally still enough to receive what I want you to hear. Stop crying, my child. I heard you. I heard you the very first time. You think I missed it. You think I was busy with someone else's prayer, someone else's pain, someone else's burning fire that needed putting out. You think your voice got lost in the crowd of voices that cry out to heaven every night. You think that maybe I had to set yours aside for later, that maybe I had a list and yours was somewhere near the bottom of it, that maybe I was too tired, too distant, too distracted by the more important needs of more important people to hear the quiet sob of one small soul in the middle of one small room on one small night. My child, you could not be more wrong. I heard you the first time you cried. Not the loud cry, not the visible cry. I heard the very first one, the one you tried to swallow, the one you held inside your throat until your chest hurt, the one you choked back when the person standing next to you turned around and asked if you were okay, and you said yes when every cell in your body was screaming no. I heard that one. I heard the one in the bathroom at work when you locked the door and ran the water so no one would notice. I heard the one in your car in the parking lot when you sat with both hands on the steering wheel and could not bring yourself to drive home yet. I heard the one in the shower where you let the sound of the water cover the sound of your grief. I heard the one in the kitchen at 2 a.m. when you came down for a glass of water and ended up on the floor instead. I heard every single one. I want you to understand something right now before I go any further, because this is the foundation everything else is going to be built on tonight. Your tears are not invisible to me. Your tears have never been invisible to me. There has never been a single tear that has fallen from your eyes that I did not catch, that I did not count, that I did not record in a book that no one else will ever read but me. Every drop of water that has rolled down your face in sorrow has a number attached to it in heaven. Everyone. Even the ones you thought were too small to matter. Even the ones you barely noticed yourself. Even the ones you forgot about by the next morning. I noticed, I remembered, and I have been moving, my child. I have been moving in the background of your life in ways you have not yet been able to see, because I heard you. Because the moment your first tear hit your pillow, I went to work. The moment your knees first buckled in that bathroom, I started rearranging the path in front of you. The moment your voice cracked the very first time, I leaned forward from my throne and I said, "That one is mine, and I am going to answer her. I am going to answer him. I am going to send what they need. So please, tonight, stop crying out of fear that I did not hear you. Stop crying out of the belief that you have been forgotten. Stop crying because you think nothing is changing, because something is changing. Something has been changing this whole time, and you are about to start seeing it with your own eyes. I know what these last months have looked like for you. I know what these last weeks have felt like. I know what tonight specifically has been like inside your head. I know the thoughts that have been circling you like vultures, waiting for you to give up. I know the lies that have been whispered into your ear over and over again until you started repeating them to yourself in your own voice. I know the way you have been carrying everything alone and pretending that you are fine and showing up for everyone else even when nobody is showing up for you. I see it. I have always seen it. And tonight I am going to do something about it. Now I want you to do something for me before I continue. I want you to take one slow breath. Right now, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, set your shoulders down, unclench your jaw, loosen your hands from whatever fists they have been holding for the last few hours. Take one slow breath in through your nose and let it out gently through your mouth, and let the air in your lungs become a prayer that does not need words. That is enough for me to work with. That breath, that one little breath, that is all the surrender I need from you tonight, my child. You do not have to come to me with the right words. You do not have to come to me with the right posture. You do not have to come to me cleaned up, dressed up, fixed up, prayed up. You just have to come. And tonight, you came. Even by reading these words, you came. Even by pausing your scrolling thumb, you came. Even by letting one tear fall while these sentences pass in front of your eyes, you came. And that is enough. That has always been enough. Now let me speak to the part of you that has been hurting the longest. There is a wound in you that you have stopped showing people because the last few times you showed it, no one knew what to do with it. They said the wrong thing. They gave you a verse and walked away. They told you to be strong. They told you to pray about it, as if you had not been praying about it every single night for years. They told you to move on, to let it go, to think positive, to count your blessings. And so over time, you learned to hide it. You learned to keep it tucked underneath your smile. You learned to be the one who comforts other people instead of the one who needs comforting. But I am not other people. I do not flinch when you bring me the ugliest parts of your story. I do not get tired of hearing it for the 100th time. I do not get frustrated when you say the same prayer with the same words about the same thing for the 10th year in a row, because I am not measuring your prayer by its newness or its variety or its cleverness. I am measuring it by the heart it comes from. And your heart, my child, has been one of the most faithful hearts I have known. Even when it doubted me, even when it questioned me, even when it shook its fist at the ceiling in the middle of the night and asked me where I had been, even then, it was still a heart that was looking for me, still a heart that had not stopped believing somewhere underneath all the pain that I was real, and that I was good, and that I had not abandoned it. That is faith. That is the kind of faith I treasure most, my child, the kind that hangs on by one finger in the dark. So tonight, before we go any further, I want you to know something. The thing you have been crying about, the thing you have not been able to put into words, the thing that wakes you up at 3 a.m. and refuses to let you fall back asleep. I know what it is. I know the name of it. I know the face it wears. I know the year it started and the moment it grew teeth, and I know the way it has been chewing on you ever since. I am not going to pretend it is small. I am not going to insult you by telling you it does not matter. I am going to tell you the truth I would tell my own child sitting in my own arms. Yes, this thing hurts. Yes, this thing is heavy. Yes, this thing has cost you more than anyone around you understands. And yes, my dear one, I have been moving toward it the whole time. You did not see me moving because I was moving underneath the ground, the way roots move underneath a field when the surface still looks dead. You did not feel me moving because I was moving in directions you were not yet ready to look. You did not hear me moving because I was moving in silence, the way the dawn moves toward a sleeping town long before the first bird begins to sing. But I was moving. I have been moving this whole time. And tonight, I want you to begin to look up, because what I have been moving is now close enough to touch. Let me tell you something about your tears that you may not have considered before. Your tears are not weakness. They have never been weakness. The world has tried to teach you that crying is something to be ashamed of, something to grow out of, something that real adults do not do, something that strong people do not need. The world has lied to you about this for a very long time. Your tears are language. Your tears are the words you could not find. Your tears are the prayers you could not pronounce. Your tears are the deepest places of your soul, speaking directly to the deepest places of heaven, without the interruption of vocabulary, without the limit of grammar, without the small cage that human language tries to put around the enormous things you feel. Every tear you have cried in your life has been heard in a higher language than any preacher has ever preached in. Every tear is a prayer. Every shaking shoulder is a request. Every silent collapse onto a bedroom floor is a sermon I have leaned forward to listen to. So when I say I heard you the first time, my child, I am not exaggerating. I am not being poetic. I am being precise. I heard the first tear. I heard the second tear. I heard every tear in between, and every tear since, and every tear you have not even cried yet, because they are still gathered behind your eyes, waiting for the next thing that hurts. I hear them all. And tonight, I want to begin handing some of them back to you, not as pain, but as proof. Proof that you have loved deeply. Proof that you have cared more than the people around you ever realized. Proof that you have a soul soft enough to break, which means you have a soul big enough to be used by heaven for something that smaller hearts could never carry. The world will tell you to harden up. I will never tell you that. The world will tell you to stop being so sensitive. I will never tell you that. I made you tender on purpose, my child. I made you feel deeply on purpose. I made your heart the way I made it, because I needed a heart like yours, in this generation, in this neighborhood, in this family, in this season, doing exactly what only your heart can do. The tenderness that you have been told to apologize for is the very thing I am about to put to work in the days that are coming. So those tears, keep them. Do not be ashamed of them. They have not weakened you. They have shaped you. They have softened the soil of your soul so that what I am about to plant in you can actually take root. Do you understand what I am telling you? The crying was not wasted. None of it was wasted. Not the crying in the bathroom, not the crying in the car, not the crying on the phone at midnight, not the crying during the sermon when no one knew why a tear suddenly slipped down your cheek, not the crying that came out of nowhere in the middle of the grocery store and had no name, not the crying you did over things you should have been over by now, not the crying you did over things no one would have understood, not the crying you did in front of the mirror when you finally looked at yourself and did not recognize the person looking back. I saw everyone. I gathered everyone. And tonight, I am beginning to use everyone. Now lean in even closer, my child, because what I am going to say next is something I want only your heart to hear, not your mind. I know what you have been asking me for. I know the request behind the request. I know the prayer underneath the prayer. You have been asking me for one thing with your mouth, but you have been asking me for a deeper thing with your soul. You have been saying, give me this, fix this, change this, but underneath all of that, the real prayer has been simpler. The real prayer has been, please do not let me be alone in this. Please do not let me be invisible. Please see me. Please answer me. Please come close. That has been the prayer. That has been the real prayer this whole time. And tonight, I am answering it. Not the surface prayer, the real one, the one underneath the one. I am coming close. I have come close. I am here. I am sitting beside you right now in a way you cannot see with your eyes, but you can feel with your spirit if you let yourself become quiet enough. And I want you to feel me. I want you to lower the walls you have built up around your own heart, even just a little, even just for the length of these next few sentences, so that I can reach the place inside you that has been waiting for me to arrive. There, right there. Do you feel that? That warm pressure on the center of your chest, that sense that something has just shifted in the room, that stillness that just rolled over you like a wave you did not summon. That is me. That is me arriving. That is me saying with my whole self, I am here. I am here. I have been here. I will always be here. And you do not have to carry 1 more pound of this load alone for 1 more minute. You can put it down now. You can really put it down now. I am not asking you to forget what happened. I am not asking you to pretend it did not hurt. I am not even asking you to forgive anyone yet. That will come later, when the wound is no longer bleeding, when you are no longer raw, when the strength to forgive becomes available to you, the way fruit becomes available to a tree after a long growing season. I am not rushing you to any of that tonight. Tonight, I am only asking you to set down the weight. That is all. Set it down, right here, right at my feet. Let it stay here while I talk to you. Let me hold it while we have this conversation. You can pick it back up later if you want to. I will not stop you, but at least give yourself the next few minutes free of it. Give yourself a small island of peace in the middle of an ocean you have been swimming for too long. You deserve a moment of rest, my child. You deserve more than a moment. You deserve a whole season of rest, and I am going to give you one, but it begins right here, in this small space, with you letting your shoulders drop and your jaw unclench, and your breath get 1 inch slower than it was a moment ago. That is the beginning of the rest I am bringing you. I want to tell you what I have seen, my child. Not the version you show people, not the part of your life you post about, not the curated rooms and the controlled smiles and the carefully selected words. I have seen the real version. I have seen you wake up in the morning and stare at the ceiling for 10 full minutes before you could bring yourself to get out of bed. I have seen you go through the motions of the day with a smile painted across the front of your face like a mask, while everything underneath the mask was crumbling. I have seen you cook dinners you did not feel like eating, answer texts you did not feel like answering, show up to events you did not feel like attending, all because you did not want anyone to know how much you were struggling. I have seen the moment in the car when you turned the radio off because you could not bear the cheerfulness of a song. I have seen the moment at the table when you pushed your food around your plate because your appetite had quietly left the room a few weeks earlier. I have seen the moment in the mirror when you stopped recognizing the eyes that looked back at you, and you wondered how long it had been since you had felt anything resembling joy. I have seen all of it. I want you to know that none of it has made me think less of you. None of it. I do not measure your worth by how put together you appear. I do not love you more when you are functional and less when you are falling apart. My love for you does not move up and down like the tides. My love for you is the ocean itself, the whole thing, all at once, never less than it was a moment ago, never more than it is right now, always full, always pressing up against the shoreline of your life with the same enormous weight, no matter what season you are in. You can be in your worst week. You can be in your worst year. You can have just done the thing you swore you would never do again. And my love for you is still the same ocean it has always been. I want you to write that on the inside of your heart tonight, my child. I want you to put it somewhere you can find it when the next dark night comes, and there will be more dark nights, because that is how this earth works. But they will not be like the ones before, because you will know now where to look in them. You will know that even in the deepest blackness, the ocean is still there. You will know that even when you cannot feel my love, it has not stopped pressing against your shore. That is what I want for you, a heart that knows where to look when the light goes out. Stop crying, my child. I heard you, but not because I want you to stop feeling, not because I am annoyed by your sadness, not because your tears have ever been a bother to me. I want you to stop crying because I want you to start hoping. I want you to stop weeping over what is behind you and start watching for what is in front of you. I want you to begin to lift your eyes from the floor where you have been kneeling for so long and look up at the horizon, because something is rising over it that you have not yet seen. Something good. Something I have been preparing. Something I have been holding back until you were ready to receive it. Let me explain. Many of the things you have prayed for, my child, I have already answered. The answer was set in motion a long time ago, but the answer is on a road, and roads take time to travel. The blessing has been moving toward you for months, sometimes years. It has been crossing distances that you cannot see from where you are standing. It has been working its way around obstacles that I had to remove first. It has been waiting for certain people to make certain choices, certain doors to close, certain doors to open, certain seasons to shift, certain hearts to soften. And during all of that long, quiet travel, you have been at home, in your room, crying because you thought I never heard you. I heard you. I heard you the first time. and I sent the answer the same day. It has just been on its way to you. So when I say stop crying, what I am really saying is start looking, start watching, start lifting your eyes. The horizon is no longer empty. There is dust on the road. There is something coming that has your name on it. There is a season changing under your feet, whether you can feel it yet or not. And I do not want you to spend one more day looking down at the dust of yesterday, when the sky in front of you is beginning to break open with something new. You are at the edge of something, my child. You are closer than you think. Now I want to speak to the part of you that has stopped believing that anything good can happen to you anymore. I know that part is there. You do not have to deny it. You do not have to clean it up before you bring it to me. I know exactly where that part of you lives, and I know what put it there. It got there from too many disappointments stacked too closely together. It got there from too many hopes that got their teeth kicked out. It got there from too many times when you thought this was it, this was the door, this was the moment my life finally turns, and then the door closed, and the moment passed, and your life looked the same the next morning as it had the morning before. After a while of that, the heart learns to stop hoping. It learns to protect itself. It learns to expect very little, so it cannot be disappointed. That is what your heart has done, my child. It has built itself a little quiet room in the back, with the lights down low, and it has been living in that room for a while now, because the front of the house got too painful. I am here to tell you to come out of that back room. I am here to tell you that the lights are coming back on in the front of the house. I am here to tell you that the disappointments of the past were not the end of the story. They were chapters in the middle. They were the dark valley between two high places, and you have been walking through that valley for a long time, but valleys do not last forever. They have an end. They have a rising slope on the other side. They have a sunrise waiting at the top of the next hill that the people in the valley cannot yet see. You are close to the slope, my child. You are closer than you have been in years. You are about to feel the road tilt upward under your feet, and when it does, you will know it. You will not be able to mistake it. You will look back over your shoulder one day, and you will realize, that was the valley I was so afraid I would never get out of. That was the season I thought would never end. That was the night I cried so hard I did not think I could survive another one, and somehow I survived it. And somehow I came out the other side, and somehow there is light again on my face, and warmth again in my chest, and joy again in the small, ordinary moments of my day. That day is coming. It is not as far away as you think. Now I want to tell you something practical, because I do not just want to comfort you tonight, I want to leave you with something you can carry into the rest of your week. There are 3 things I want you to do over the next few days, my child. Small things, quiet things, nothing dramatic. Just 3 small acts of trust between you and me. The first thing is this. When you feel a tear coming, do not fight it anymore. Do not push it back down. Do not run from it. Let it come. Let it fall. And as it falls, say only 6 words to me. Even if you have to whisper them, say, I know you hear me. That is all. 6 words. Each tear becomes a small conversation between us. Each tear becomes a doorway instead of a wound. Each tear becomes a reminder that I am here. I am close. I am listening. I have not gone anywhere. The second thing is this. Once a day, for the next 7 days, I want you to find one window in your house or one piece of sky outside your door, and I want you to look up at it for 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. You do not have to pray during that time. You do not have to think anything in particular. You only have to look up, because for too long, my child, your eyes have been on the ground. For too long, your gaze has been pulled downward by the weight of what you have been carrying. I want to retrain your neck. I want to retrain your line of sight. I want you to remember that there is a sky above you, and that the same sky has been there every day of your life, and that I have been there with it the whole time. 30 seconds, once a day. That is your medicine for the week. The third thing is this. Once, just once, during the next few days, I want you to do one small kind thing for someone else without telling anyone about it. Send the text you have been meaning to send. Pay for the coffee of the person behind you in line. Compliment the cashier. Pray quietly under your breath for the stranger you pass in the hallway. Pick something, anything, small, and do it in secret. Because something happens in the heart of a person when they pour even one cup of water into someone else's empty cup. Their own cup begins to fill in a way they cannot quite explain. That is one of my quiet secrets, my child. The way out of your own pain is sometimes a small, unnoticed kindness to a person who is also in pain. Try it, just once. See what I do with it. Those are your 3 small instructions. Nothing heroic, nothing complicated, nothing that requires you to be stronger than you are tonight. But if you do those 3 things, you will begin to feel something shift inside you. Not all at once, not in a moment, but by the end of 7 days, you will look back and realize that something in the air around you is different. Something in your chest is lighter. Something in the way you walk through your rooms is softer. And you will know that it was me. You will know that it was the answer I sent a long time ago, finally arriving at your door. I want to circle back to the tears, my child, because I do not want to leave that subject before I have said one more thing. You have been crying alone for a long time. I want you to know you were never alone in those tears. Not once. Not for a single second. Even when the room was empty. Even when no one called. Even when no one knocked on the door. Even when you scrolled through your contacts and could not think of anyone you could actually call without feeling like a burden. Even then, I was there. I was sitting beside you. I was leaning my head close to yours. I was breathing in the same air you were breathing. I was crying with you in a way that goes deeper than human crying, because when one of my children breaks, my own heart aches in a way that no one on this earth could ever fully understand. I cried with you, my child. I have cried with you every time. I want you to picture that for a moment. Picture me in the corner of that room with you, sitting on the floor with my back against the wall, my hands open in my lap, my eyes on you, my heart breaking with your heart. Picture me there during the worst night of last year. Picture me there during the phone call that ended everything. Picture me there during the diagnosis. Picture me there during the silence after the door closed for the last time. Picture me there during the moment you read the message that changed your life. Picture me there during the funeral, the courtroom, the hospital, the empty driveway, the kitchen table with one less chair than it used to have. I was there in every one of those moments, and I am still in the room with you now. I never left. I am not the kind of father who leaves. I know that some of the deepest tears you have cried are the ones nobody else even knows happened. The tears you cried about the dream you never told anyone about, the one you secretly carried for years, the one you tucked away in the bottom drawer of your soul, the one that died quietly without ceremony, when life got too heavy and there was no more energy left to chase it. You cried over the death of that dream when no one was looking. You cried in the small way that grown people cry, which is shorter and quieter than the way children cry, but somehow more painful because you cannot fully explain to anyone what you are mourning. I know. I was there for that grief too. And I want you to hear me, my child. That dream is not as dead as you think. It is dormant. It is buried. But buried is not the same thing as dead. A seed underground looks dead to the bird flying over the field, but the farmer knows what is happening down there. He knows the seed is doing its quiet work. He knows the soil is doing its quiet work. He knows that nothing is wasted, that the silence is not absence, that the darkness is not death. I am the farmer, my child, and I know what is happening in the underground places of your life. I know which dreams I am about to bring back up. I know which ones I am going to leave buried, because they were never the right ones for the harvest I am preparing in you. I know which ones I am going to replace with something even better, something you have not yet been able to imagine, because your imagination has been small for a while, and that is okay. I will lend you mine. So when you cry over the dream you thought you lost, my child, I want you to add one sentence to the crying, just one. I want you to say, even this is not wasted. Even this, even the dream, even the years, even the energy I poured into something that did not work out. Even that is being recycled by you into something I cannot yet see. Even that is becoming the soil for what comes next. Because that is the truth. That is exactly what I am doing with it. Now I want to speak to a very specific tear. There is one that comes up at the same time of night, almost like clockwork, around 11 p.m. or 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. It depends on the season. It comes up in the silence. It comes up when the rest of the house is asleep, when there are no more dishes to wash, no more emails to answer, no more chores to use as distractions. It is the tear that comes when the noise stops and the loneliness gets loud. That one, my child, that is the tear I want to address right now. I know what that loneliness feels like. I know how it sits on your chest. I know how it convinces you, every single time, that you are the only one in the world who feels this exact shade of empty. I know how it whispers that no one would notice if you disappeared, that no one would understand if you tried to explain it, that even the people who love you are too distracted by their own lives to really see yours. I am here to tell you something tonight that I need you to hear so clearly that it changes the way you experience that specific tear from now on. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The loneliness you feel at those late hours is not a true description of your situation. It is a feeling. Feelings tell the truth about what is happening inside you, but they do not always tell the truth about what is happening around you. And around you, my child, even in the late hours, in the empty rooms, in the silences that feel so wide they could swallow you around you, there is a whole presence of heaven that does not leave when the lights go out. I do not stop being in your room at night. I do not stop being with you when the conversations are over. I do not get tired and go home. The same presence that is with you in the morning, in the daylight, in the loud parts of your life, the same presence is with you at 3 a.m. when no one is calling and no one is awake and you feel like the last person on a quiet earth. I am in that room. I am in that bed. I am in that breath. I am closer to your ear than the pillow is. I am closer to your heart than the breath inside your own ribs. And I am whispering to you, every single one of those nights, you are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone, no matter what your feelings are telling you. If you can begin to listen for that voice, even faintly, even underneath the loneliness, you will begin to find me. You will begin to know that the late night hours are not just hours of pain, they are also hours of intimacy, hours where heaven sits closest to your bed, hours where I have been waiting for you to lower your defenses enough to feel me. Stop crying, my child. I heard you. I heard you the first time, and the 100th time, and the 1000th time. I have heard every cry that has ever come out of your soul. I have not missed one. And now I am about to do something that you have not yet seen me do. I am about to begin lining up the days in front of you, in a different order than the days behind you. I am about to begin moving the people in your life into positions that you did not expect. I am about to begin opening some doors and closing some others, and not all of it will look like an answer to your prayer at first. Some of it will look like more confusion before the clarity comes. But I want you to remember tonight, in the weeks that are coming, that I started this work the moment your first tear hit your pillow. I have been moving for a long time. You are about to start seeing it. So when something unexpected happens in the next few days, do not panic. Do not assume it is a setback. Do not assume the worst. Pause. Take a breath. Remember this voice. Remember this moment. Remember that I am working, and that my way of working does not always look like the picture you had in your head, but it always ends in good for the heart that belongs to me. Your heart belongs to me, my child. It always has. Even on the nights when you did not know how to find me, your heart still belonged to me. Even on the days when you were so angry that you did not want to talk to me, your heart still belonged to me. Even in the seasons when you wandered off to look for comfort in other places, yes, even those seasons your heart still belonged to me. I never let go. I do not let go of what is mine. I do not lose track of my own children. I do not get distracted by other lives and forget about yours. You have been in my hand this whole time, and you will be in my hand for every season that is still to come. I want to give you a picture, my child. A picture you can hold on to when the words of this message start to fade in your memory. Picture a small lamp, a single lamp, sitting on a table in a dark room. The lamp is not very bright, the room is very large. The darkness around the lamp is much bigger than the light the lamp is putting out. But the lamp is on, the lamp is steady. The lamp does not flicker, the lamp does not run out of fuel. The lamp does not ask the darkness for permission to be a light. The lamp simply is what it is, a small, steady flame in the middle of a much larger night. That lamp is your faith, my child. Right now, in this season, your faith is small. It is a flicker. It is not the bonfire it used to be. It is a quiet little glow that you sometimes look at and wonder if it is even still burning. You compare it to other people's faith, the ones who seem so confident, the ones who speak so boldly, the ones who post the verses and the prayers and the testimonies, and seem to have it all figured out, and you look at your own little lamp and you think, mine is barely anything. But here is what I want you to know. That lamp is enough. That little flickering flame is enough for me to work with. I do not need a bonfire from you in this season. I do not need fireworks. I do not need the kind of faith that the people online seem to have. I need exactly the faith you have right now. Small, quiet, stubborn, refusing to go out, even when everything in your life seems designed to put it out. That is the faith I respect most. That is the faith I will reward the most. That is the faith that moves my heart the most. So do not be ashamed of your little lamp, my child. Do not compare it to anyone else's. Just keep it on. Just keep it on through tonight, through tomorrow, through the week, through whatever else is coming. And one day, when you are not even looking, that little lamp will become a fire that no enemy can put out. That little flicker will become a beacon that other people see from a long way off and walk toward, because they recognize in your faith something steady, something tested, something tempered by a lot of dark nights, and they will know that the kind of faith you carry is the kind they can trust. That is what I am building in you, my child. That is what all of this has been for. I want to say one more thing about the people who have hurt you, because I know there are names that come into your mind when you hear this kind of message, names of people who said things that should never have been said, who did things that should never have been done, who took from you what was not theirs to take, who walked away when they should have stayed, who stayed when they should have walked away. I know those names. I know those faces. I know the wounds those people left on you. I want you to know that I have not forgotten what was done to you. I do not need you to remind me. I do not need you to keep rehearsing it in your head. I do not need you to dwell on it day after day so that I will remember. I remember. I have my own record of it, kept in a way that you cannot see from where you are standing, and I will deal with it in my own time, in my own way, with a justice that is more complete and more merciful and more wise than anything you could design yourself. You can stop being the prosecutor in your own life now, my child. I am taking over that case. That does not mean you have to forgive anyone tonight. I am not asking you to. I am only asking you to set down the briefcase you have been carrying, the one full of the evidence, the one full of the timeline, the one full of all the proof of how badly you were wronged. Set the briefcase down. Leave it with me. I will take it from here. What I want for you, in the meantime, is freedom. I want your heart to stop being a courtroom. I want your mind to stop being a stage where the same scenes get replayed every night. I want the energy you have been pouring into rehearsing your wounds to be released, so that I can pour it into building your future. Because right now, my child, a lot of your emotional energy is tied up in the past. A lot of your spiritual fuel is being burned on memories that no longer need that much fuel. And I am the one who is going to help you take it back. Not all at once. Slowly, gently. The way a wound heals from the inside out, with new skin forming underneath the scab long before the scab falls away. I will heal you that way, my child. I will heal you so slowly and so completely that one day you will reach back to touch the place where the wound used to be, and you will find that even the scar has faded, and you will not remember exactly when it happened, only that it did happen, and that I was the one who did it. Stop crying, my child. I heard you. I want you to begin to picture what your life looks like when the weight is gone. Not gone forever, you are still on this earth, and the earth still produces new weights every season, but gone for now, gone for tonight, gone for this hour, Gone enough for you to remember what it feels like to be light, to be unhurried, to be loved without earning, to be received without performance. What does that look like for you? Picture it. Picture waking up one morning soon and noticing that something inside you is quieter than it has been in a long time. Picture making your coffee without the racing thoughts. Picture looking out the window without the dread sitting on your chest. Picture going through a whole day without the question that has been haunting you for months, even crossing your mind. Picture laughing, a real laugh, the kind that surprises you with its own sound at something small and silly that would not have made you laugh 6 months ago because you were too far underwater to be reached by it. Picture being loved. Picture being seen. Picture being known by the right people in the right way, at the right time. That picture is not a fantasy, my child. That picture is a preview. That picture is the next room of the house you are walking into. You are not making it up. You are not lying to yourself. You are seeing, with the eyes of your spirit, the actual room that is being prepared for you right now. And one day soon, you will walk into that room with your real feet, in your real life, in your real body, and you will know that everything I am telling you tonight was true. It was always true. I want to make you a few quiet promises before I close this message tonight. I promise that your tears have not been wasted, not one of them. They have been collected, they have been counted, and they have been turned into seeds that I have already planted in your future. Every drop is becoming a fruit. Every drop is becoming a season. Every drop is becoming the soil for something that smiling people who have never cried the way you have cried will never be able to grow in their own lives. The tears you thought were destroying you have been building the very landscape that your harvest is going to grow out of. I promise that I am not done with you, not even close. You are not at the end of your story. You are not even at the middle of your story. You are somewhere in the rising action, somewhere in the part that the reader cannot yet see, somewhere in the chapter where the heroine cannot tell whether everything is falling apart or coming together, but the author can see, the author knows. The author has been writing towards something specific from the very first page, and you are closer to the climax than you imagine. I promise that what is coming will not look like what was. I am not bringing you back to who you used to be. I am not restoring you to the person you were before all of this began. That person was good, but the person I am building now is better, deeper, softer, stronger, wiser, kinder, freer, more useful to me, more available to the people I will send across your path. The pain refined you, the waiting taught you, the silence trained your ears. You are coming out of this season more equipped than you have ever been, and the people who will know you on the other side of this season will benefit from a version of you that the people on this side of it never got to meet. I promise that the loneliness has an end date. It does. I have written it on my calendar already. You cannot see the calendar from where you are sitting, but I can, and I want you to trust me when I tell you that there are people coming into your life that you have not yet met. Kind people, safe people, people who will laugh at your jokes and notice when you are quiet and ask the questions no one has been asking you. They are real. They are coming. I am already preparing them on the other side, and they will arrive on time, not one day later than they need to. I promise that I will be with you no matter what happens between now and then, even if the answer is delayed, even if the road gets harder before it gets easier, even if some of the people you thought would be in your life turn out not to be. I will be there. I will be in the room. I will be in the breath. I will be in the small, unexpected mercies that happen all day long, that you sometimes overlook because you are looking for the big mercy and missing the dozen small ones. I will not leave. I will not get tired. I will not run out. I am yours, my child, and you are mine, and that arrangement is not subject to renegotiation by anyone on this side or that side, in this life or the next. Now I want you to do something with me before we close. I want you to put your hand somewhere on yourself, anywhere. Your hand on your heart, your hand on your stomach, your hand on your forehead, your hand on your knee. Whatever feels natural, just put your hand somewhere on your body so you can feel your own skin under your own palm. That body, my child, is mine. That body has been through a lot. That body has carried a soul through some of the heaviest seasons a human heart can carry. That body has stayed standing when it had every reason to lay down. That body has shown up to work, to school, to family obligations, to errands, to appointments, sometimes on no sleep, sometimes on no food, sometimes on no joy, and it has kept going. And I am proud of that body. I am proud of how it has held you. I am proud of how it has held me. It has been a faithful temple in a difficult season. Put your hand on your skin and feel the warmth of it. Feel the life of it. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath underneath your hand. Now whisper this with me, even if it is only inside your head. I am loved. I am seen. I am heard. I am held. Say it again. I am loved. I am seen. I am heard. I am held. One more time. I am loved. I am seen. I am heard. I am held. Those 4 short sentences are the truth of your life from this moment forward, my child. They were always the truth, but you did not always have words for it. Now you do. Now you have a small handful of words you can carry into the rest of your week. When the doubts come, you will have these. When the lies come, you will have these. When the loneliness rises in your chest at the late hour, you will have these. 4 sentences, 16 words. Yours. I am loved. I am seen. I am heard. I am held. Stop crying now, my child. Or do not stop. If your soul still needs to cry, I will not stop you. Cry as long as you need to. Cry it all the way out. Cry until there is nothing left to cry about. And then cry one more time for the road. And then let the tears begin to dry on their own. But cry differently now. Cry as someone who is heard, not someone who is shouting into an empty room. Cry as someone who is loved, not someone who is alone. Cry as someone who is in the arms of a father who has not stopped paying attention for a single second, even when your faith was at its smallest and your heart was at its weariest. The crying is not the problem, my child. The crying alone is the problem. And tonight, you are not crying alone, not now, not ever again. Because I am here, I have always been here, and I will always be here. And whatever tears are left to fall from your eyes will fall into hands that have been waiting to catch them for as long as you have existed. You belong to me. You always have. I want to send you back into your life now with 3 short things to carry. The first is this. When you wake up tomorrow morning, before your feet touch the floor, I want you to say one sentence out loud, even if it is small, even if it is whispered. I want you to say, today, I am loved. That is all. That is your first sentence of the day, from now on, before the news, before the emails, before the messages, before the worries. Today, I am loved. Let that be the first word you speak to the air around you. The second is this. When you go to sleep tomorrow night, I want you to whisper one more sentence into your pillow before you close your eyes. I want you to say, today, I was held. Even if the day was hard, even if nothing went the way you wanted it to, even if you cried again somewhere along the way. Say it anyway. Today, I was held. Because it will be true. Every day from now until the last day of your life, it will be true. And the more you say it, the more your spirit will start to expect it, and the more your eyes will start to see the evidence of it. The third is this. Somewhere this week, I want you to find a quiet 5 minutes, not in a place of crisis, not in a place of tears, but in a calm moment, and I want you to talk to me, not pray a prayer with the right words. Just talk, the way you would talk to a friend on the porch. Tell me about your day. Tell me what is on your mind. Tell me what you are looking forward to, and what you are afraid of, and what you are not sure about. 5 minutes, that is all. Because the relationship you and I have, my child, is not built only on crisis prayers. It is also built on porch conversations, and I would like a few more porch conversations with you in the days ahead. Now lift your head, my child. Lift it slowly, gently, with the dignity of someone who has been heard. Roll your shoulders back. Take one more long breath. Feel the weight that you set down at the beginning of this message. and notice, really notice that I am still holding it. You did not pick it back up. You let me carry it through this whole conversation, and the world did not fall apart. The sun is still in the sky, the earth is still spinning, your life is still going, and the load is still in my hands. You can let me keep it. You can let me carry it for the rest of the night. You can let me carry it for the rest of the week, if you are willing. I will not get tired. I will not put it down. I will not lose track of it. I will not give it back to you unless you ask for it. And I think, if you try this for even a few days, you will be surprised at how much lighter your steps become. You will be surprised at how much more space there is in your chest. You will be surprised at the small joys that begin to find their way back to you when the bigger weight is no longer blocking the door. I want those small joys to find you again, my child. I have been saving them up for a while. I have a whole storehouse of them, kept in reserve for the moment when your heart was ready to receive them again, and I think your heart is ready. I think tonight is the night. I think this is the turning point. I think you walked into this message with something heavy, and you are walking out of it with something light. And that exchange, that quiet trade, is one of the most sacred things that can happen between a child and her father. Welcome to the lighter season, my child. It will not be a perfect season. There will still be hard days. There will still be tears. There will still be questions I am not going to answer in the way you wanted them answered. But the air around your life is going to change. The weight in your chest is going to change. The way the light comes through your window is going to change. And the steady small awareness that I am with you, that I have been with you, that I will always be with you, that is going to change too. It is going to become louder. It is going to become more real. It is going to become the soundtrack underneath every other sound in your life. I am with you, my child. I have always been with you. I will always be with you. So go now. Go gently. Go with your shoulders down and your jaw soft and your hands open and your eyes lifted, even just an inch higher than they were before. Go and live the day that is in front of you, not the day you wish you were living, not the day you used to live before everything got hard, not someone else's day, yours. The one I have given you, with all of its small ordinary moments, all of its small ordinary mercies, all of its small ordinary chances to whisper one more sentence of trust into the air between us. Go and be soft toward the people in your life. They are carrying things too. They may not be carrying what you are carrying, but everyone is carrying something. Let your own softness become a gift to the world around you. Let people feel, when they are near you, that they are with someone who has been held by heaven and who has decided to pass some of that holding on. Go and rest, my child. Real rest. The kind that goes deeper than sleep. The kind that settles into the parts of you that have been running for too long. I am giving you permission to rest. I am giving you permission to slow down. I am giving you permission to do less than you think you need to do, and to be more than you think you are, because doing has never been the measure of you in my eyes. Being has been, and you are. You are mine. You are loved. You are heard. You are held. I heard you the first time. I am still hearing you now, and I will be hearing you long after these words have faded from your screen, long after this video has ended, long after the room around you has gone dark and quiet for the night. You are not alone, my child. You have never been alone. You will never be alone. Rest in that. Walk in that. Sleep in that. Wake up in that. Live the rest of your life in that. I love you more than these small words could ever fully say. I love you with a love that has no beginning and no end. I love you with a love that nothing in this universe, not the past, not the present, not the future, not the people who have hurt you, not the choices you regret, not the years you feel you have lost, nothing can ever separate you from. You are mine, and I am yours, forever. Amen.